Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Chair of Council, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm humbled by the privilege to be the guest speaker at one of the most prestigious occasions in the calendar of the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. I'm mindful of the importance of this moment in the lives of the graduates as young health professionals, and to the members of their families who are here to support them. Congratulations on this achievement in formally joining the ranks of the medical profession. The World Health Organization in 2006 defines health workers as individuals whose main activities are aimed at enhancing health, I believe it is a unique privilege to serve humanity in this way. Health workers are the living bridge between the vast body of medical and public health knowledge and the communities that we care for. Access to skilled, empowered, and supported health workers has been the foundation of the improvement in child survival, maternal health, access to antiretrovirals, particularly in our country, and other health gains that have been achieved in recent years. Access to basic health care services was affirmed as a fundamental human right in the Alma Ata Declaration that was adopted in the former Kazakh Soviet Republic in 1978. This declaration states, "The conference strongly affirms that health, which is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, is not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. It is a fundamental human right, and that the attainment of the highest level of health is most important in the world, worldwide, as a social good, whose realization requires the action of many other social and economic factors in addition to the health sector." This declaration further states that an acceptance level of health for all people of the world can be achieved by the year 2000 through fuller and better use of the world resources. Subsequently, the United Nations adopted the Millennium Development Goals. Sadly, while South Africa has made major progress in achieving the Millennium Development Goals, and more than 30 years after the Alma Ata Declaration was adopted in the Soviet Union in 1978, many people still do not have equitable access to even basic health services as envisaged at Alma Ata, particularly poorer communities. In addition, the Millennium Development Agenda is unfinished. We are now looking at the post-millennium, the post-MDG agenda. Globally, it is estimated that 1 billion to 3 billion people are without access to health services due to the shortage of health workers. As health professionals of this new era, it is you, the new graduates, the new entrants into the health environment, that will have the obligation of ensuring that the aims and objectives of the Alma Ata are fulfilled, that the objectives of the Millennium Development Goals are achieved, so that we can truly talk about health for all. The capacity to adequately address these many issues depend on the availability of access to competent and motivated health workers. It is important to build, retain, and deploy competent and skilled workforce in an increasing globalized environment. One of the things that I've tried to do in my career with young developing health professionals is with the experience that I've had to convey to you what I have experienced as the bag of tools as described by R.L. Sharp, with which you take forward and with which you craft your future. And this is what R.L. Clark states in a poem. Isn't it strange how princes and kings and clowns that caper in sawdust rings and common people like you and me are builders for eternity? Each is given a list of rules, a shapeless mass, a bag of tools, and each must fashion, ere life is flown, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. You have been given the tools, both in the society and the family that you grew up in, as well as in this institution, with its illustrious past and its history, and the education that you have received. You've been given a bag of tools, and how you use those bag of tools to either craft a stumbling block or a stepping stone is in your hands. I'd like to share with you some thoughts to assist you to fashion stepping stones for a successful career. And quoting from people like Martin Luther King Jr., who states that the number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your worth, your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel you are a nobody. Always feel you count. Always feel you have worth. Always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Secondly, as a graduate and a health professional, you will be looked upon as a leader in your community. Be a servant leader. Our care should always be patient-centered. Putting your patients first should be an uncompromising principle. Thirdly, in your life blueprint, you must have the basic principle, the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. Strive to be the best in whatever you choose to do, says Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great essayist, in a lecture in 1871. If a man can write a better book, he said, or preach a better sermon, or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if his house is in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. Martin Luther King said further, and when you discover what you will be in your life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. Don't just set out to do a good job. Set out to do such a good job that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. If it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Leontine Price sings before the Metropolitan Opera. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a shrub in the valley, but be the best little shrub on this side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be a sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. Thank you.